So we are working on reverse De La Riva and De La Riva for the first 2 weeks of the month. Today we're going to do something kind of like a little bit funky and something but necessary, which is how to pull guard correctly. And then we're going to use our guard pull with some concepts on how to enter right into De La Riva, and then after our partner strips the De La Riva, we're going to look on how to go to reverse De La Riva. So I'm going to have Felix. All right. So guys, very, very important. You know, when him and I start a match, right? So we have options, right? We can go for takedowns, but also I can go for guard pulls. And arguably for sport jiu-jitsu, pulling guard is just a safer way to play, right? So especially if you're like below middleweight, you know, for a lot of times if you're a heavier player, your guard is not as flexible, it's not as intricate. So you know, a lot of times you're looking for takedowns. But below, you know, pulling guard is a lot of times a very, very good option, right? So we're going to shake hands. And what's very important is to back up right away. All right, so you want to back up because you want to assess the situation and you want to see the stance that your opponent or partner is going to have. Most people are going to have their right leg forward and they're going to be in a wrestling stance, let's say. And especially he's a wrestler, and let's say I want to pull guard. If I want to pull guard, a lot of guard players, they go like this. But now I showed Felix my hand. He knows I'm going to pull guard on him. And a lot of times he can bull rush me, he could avoid me, he could just kind of stall me out, like do that, Felix. Like I can just like not engage. Or some people are really good, like they'll start to like slap the hands away and look for shots and stuff like that, right? And I can really take him out of his element, right? So if I want to pull guard, I want to be in a wrestling stance regardless, all right? And maybe later I'm going to wrestle too. Maybe I'm going to be able to pick something up, right? So I'm going to also have a wrestling stance. And now what I'm going to look to do, guys, is as I'm circling, I'm going to look to get a 2-on-1 on his wrist. Very basic grip, okay? Usually his hand is going to be low because he's looking for shots. He has a true wrestling stance. So I'm going to be able to get this 2-on-1. Now I'm going to sit. And when I sit, guys, it's very important that I connect my elbows to my body, all right? I don't want to have my arms kind of loose. This is going to be easier for him to break. Here, and is going to be, if he like runs away from me, like I may kind of lose the whole position, right? And it's not the end of the world, but now I lost an opportunity to connect to him. When I'm here, I want to have my elbows connected to my body. If Felix stays where he is, if he doesn't do anything, I can start to scooch neck towards him and I can start to make my connections already, right? If he steps forward, I can pummel my legs on the inside and it's going to be the same exact outcome. I have my connections. So a lot of times, since he doesn't have a grip, his natural instinct is going to be to go away from me. As he goes away from me, he drags me and he does the job for me, and now I connect to a De La Riva hook. My same side foot is going to wrap around, and now to take away this space, I'm going to go a little bit onto that same side hip, and I'm going to start to go for his calf muscle, for his Achilles, just right over here. From here, very common, he's going to break that grip, and now he's going to start to strip my hook off by straining his leg and pointing his knee to the outside, and then he's going to back up a little bit, he's going to step over my other hook, and now he's going to force headquarters. So I just had a pretty decent position, had a De La Riva, but now it's not as good because now I lost some of my hooks and some of my connections. From here, if I keep holding on to his hand, I lost the ability to counter him, all right? So a lot of times I'm already going to be preparing to defend myself. He's probably going to start to go for a knee cut, and now as he goes for a knee cut, I'm going to do what we did last week, and I'm going to anticipate doing a self-frame underneath his lat and using my hook to elevate him and bring his hands above my head. Once he's here, notice his foot's already up, his hands are above my head, his legs are light. I'm going to pendulum, and now I'm in the same exact spot that we were last week. Let's say we stand up together. And now I could start to go for my takedowns, all right? So from here, a second ago, I pulled guard because I didn't want him to take me down. Now I'm in on a takedown of my own, all right? And even if he has better wrestling than me, the likelihood of me taking him down here is going to be very great. Once I'm here, guys, I want to have my hand as high as I can, and it's very important that I'm making him hop and I'm making him uncomfortable. He's going to want to grab my head, he's going to want to grab and start to like kick down and get close to me. So this hand is going to be making sure that as he grabs me, I'm stripping and I'm kind of keeping a little bit of distance away. I'm going to take my middle finger, I'm going to go as deep as I can around his knee. I'm going to step inside and I'm going to circle his leg to the outside. And I'm going to follow him to end up in a good spot where I can look to leg drag him, I can look to heel hook him, I can look to lower my level and finish some sort of guard pass. Okay? So again, we shake hands. Okay, I back up a little bit and then I assess the situation. All right, I see which leg and which arm he has forward. If he had a different stance, then I would be going for this arm. Okay, if his hands were a little bit higher up, maybe I'm going to look for double wrist grips, or I'm going to look for mercy grips to be able to pull. All right, so it's just going to be depending on his stance and how his arms are. But a very common stance is going to be here, like a true wrestling stance, exactly. So here, all I have to do is get a 2-on-1, sit, and again, it's very important I keep my elbows connected to my body, and then feel his pull. As soon as he pulls, let him pull you in, and now I go straight into my De La Riva. From here, he breaks it, he starts to square up. As soon as he squares up, things are going wrong already, so I'm gonna look to anticipate. So I'm gonna already look to balance him on his way in. From here, I'm gonna wrap myself up, and maybe I'm gonna review what we did last week. Let's say you're on a knee. I'm gonna step my leg back, and I'm gonna look to shelf. Okay, we were doing this last week as well. Now I can start to go and run him down. A very good question that someone asked recently is, why don't I just double leg him from here? You can, you know, but look, when you do that, a lot of times you end up right into their guard, and now they can pay you back. You still get your 2. So a lot of times if you're able to shove their leg or stand up and take them down, you're not gonna have to deal with their guard later on. Okay, so again, remember, make sure you stay disciplined and make sure you stay upright too. Sometimes, this week when we've been going over this, some people are kind of pulling guard like a little bit like this. This is no good, because if some wind blows on you, you're gonna fall back, and now he's gonna start to like go for his passing sequences. So when I pull guard, I wanna be in this posture right here. Worst thing that could happen, he breaks his grip, let's say, I'm in my butterfly, things are good for me, I'm able to start to defend myself, I'm able to start to engage on my terms as well. So it's not gonna be like a blunder, or he's able to blitz your guard right away. Cool? Let's go, guys. I rushed through explaining how to strip the De La Riva hook, so let's discuss like the technical way, exactly how I'm going to be able to strip it from my perspective, and then same story, Felix is going to go into the cycle of his reverse De La Riva as soon as I strip his regular De La Riva, right? So I'm going to be a right leg lead, my hands are low, he's going to get a baseball bat, he's going to sit. As soon as he sits, look at how his elbows are connected to his body here. See, you can like go straight into De La Riva from here, like pull yourself. You can do this, nothing says you can't do that, but allow the person to do it for you. Wait for 1 second, because I'm here, I don't like it, I'm gonna start to back away. Look, I dragged them right into that spot. Guys, from here, I'm gonna most likely break the grip, he's gonna grab my Achilles, and he's gonna keep this foot here, make it a hook, etc., right? Guys, what I need to do is I need to do 3 things at once. First of all, keep your hook tight. Some of you guys were trying to strip it with just your leg alone. Sometimes you can, but it's gonna be very, very hard. So you generally want to break the grip, and you want to start to thumb post inside of this line right over here. Somewhere from the knee to the shin. People do it differently, and it all works. I just need a force pushing this down, right? Making sure that my thumb is not outside. If my thumb is outside, my elbow is flared, and I'm going to be much weaker, all right? It's like the tricep machine that someone was doing in the gym. So I'm posting here, I'm pushing this down, and I'm straightening my leg as much as I can. And now, my knee right now is pointing a little bit to him. I'm gonna point my knee a little bit out, and I'm gonna jam it right behind the back of his knee. Okay, so I suggest for a lot of us, just to practice this motion to understand how to strip it. Okay, so again, here's the hook. I'm straightening my leg. The hook is already loosening. I push, it loosens up. I turn my toe to the outside, and my knee goes here. Now, keep this sticky, Felix. If you just try to step over it, it's gonna be very hard. So I'm gonna keep my hand here. I'm gonna step back. Look what happened to his leg. It lengthened. Now I can push it down, and now I'm gonna crowd him again. Now this hand, Scott, goes to his hip. From here, I'm not looking for another hook yet. This is gonna be another hook in a second. I'm looking to blast and make my knee touch the floor here. As I do that, he's gonna frame under this armpit. So as I try to do that, he made me overshoot. And now, sometimes I'm gonna land on my knee because I lost my balance. Now that's when he's gonna pendulum. And now, depending on the situation is what he's gonna choose, and he's right away going to a strong finishing position for him. Cool? All right, so again, one more time from his perspective. We're wrestling, I'm trying to shoot, he catches my wrist, he sits. I start to go away, he goes into De La Riva. I break the grip, I strip the hook, and now I'm here. Now as I blast through, he made me overshoot, and now he's able to wrestle up and go through the whole cycle. Some of us, when we're going for the knee cut, we're not going low enough, all right? So when he's here, remember, I'm in HQ, look how low I am. I'm not gonna be trying to knee cut like this. How's he gonna balance me, but he doesn't need to because I'm not really a threat. Don't block me, okay? I'm trying to go, here, all the way through. Like I'm trying to blast, go chest to chest right away. And he is gonna anticipate it, and he's gonna use this hand under the slide, on this hook, underneath my hamstring, to block me and make me overshoot and make me post above his head. My legs are light, and now he can do a variety of different things. Cool? Let's go, guys.